You are now tuned into the hottest podcast in the DFW, featuring Dr. Word Up, the NLV.
Yo. We are here with the NLV podcast and a very special guest, the beautiful, talented, help me out, athletic,
athletic.
Creative, songwriter. What we got? Look,
Snacker.
Snacker, yeah. We have
like
Dev
Chex
in the
Mix.
building with the Chex Mix. You know, what's the favorite flavor?
Just a regular.
Just a regular.
Regular.
Plain thing. I can't do the plain.
I don't need no extra. Just regular Chex Mix.
Dope. So we have Dev in the building. So Dev, I want you just to go ahead and let's just dive in and tell us who you are in your own words.
Well, I think I'm curious. That's what I am.
Interesting.
I don't know. I like a lot of stuff, and music is something that I've done my whole life. So currently, I guess you'd say I'm a musician, a writer, and a thinker. Just keep it like
Thinker. So, you know, as a creative, I feel like creatives have the most interesting thoughts. Like, it can be something where you're even talking to somebody about something serious, and you're thinking about something way in Mars. And
yeah, like the way our brains just click and think about, I don't
Yeah.
know, the way that we connect the dots, I guess. But I don't know, maybe that has to do with me being so curious. Like, I'm just always...
so, what are you curious? What is it that makes you say, I wonder about that?
I don't know, I was always like that. Like, as a kid, I just liked a lot of things. I was a reader when I was a kid.
Okay.
Now, this was, before iPads and
Yeah.
the internet. So, like, I like books.
Hard copy.
I used to get excited about book fairs when they would come to the school, and that's all I used to like really ever want. Like, I remember when the Harry Potter's series dropped. And
Wait a minute. You were in that
Until
fad,
my
the
age.
Harry Potter? Yeah? That did something to you, huh? So
I
when the movie
remember
dropped,
and
were
I
you
was
like,
okay, give me the series. I need,
Okay.
and
okay,
I was a Harry Potter fan, yes.
okay.
But I don't know, and I guess that's where like this, this world of curiosity just started, to open up. And then around that time, I had started playing the viola. I grew up
Wow, strings.
on the viola, classically trained on that, and I was just interested in. So I was like, okay, books. Okay, I want to play an instrument. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I would, So my parents rented me a viola, and I just kind of took to it, and I played all throughout high school and college.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it wasn't until college where I picked up the keys, because I was kind of getting a little, bored with the viola and everything that came with it, the practice and all of that. I was like, man, I don't like this anymore. And I kind of took to the keys as like a hobby away from what I was, because I was studying music in college.
Okay.
And I was studying theory, and it felt like I was just...
Oh, so serious.
I was all soaked into this, like, classical world, and I was just like, I'm bored. Like, y'all, this is too much. And I would go in the practice rooms, and I was at UNT, and I would just sit there and kind of just teach myself by ear.
Yeah.
And I would watch these piano majors, these classical just virtuosos that would just go in there and just like...
Yeah.
And I remember I would watch their hands, and I would watch their movements. I'm like, damn, I wish I could play like...
Yeah.
And I remember late at night, because my dorm was right next to the practice. Like, I could walk from where I was in college to the practice rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember late at night, like after I had done all my classes, my homework and stuff, I would walk over, and they would still leave those buildings open, and I would just go in, and nobody was there, and I would just play, okay. And I just started picking it up by ear, and I knew a little theory, with my viola, and I just started putting pieces and stuff together, and that's when I kind of took to the piano and kind of started, writing my own stuff and making my own rules.
Yeah, for sure.
Mainly, I think, is what that was. So.
That's dope. So, how was that transition from going from the viola to the piano to the keys? Like, was it like, oh, this is extremely difficult, or is it like, it's not too bad,
No,
because you have the theory?
Because I had the theory back, but see, I couldn't read. Piano music is different. They read on two staves, and it's not single line.
Before for the people who don't know, what is a stave? Because
okay,
they like,
so a staff, stringed instruments read one staff.
Okay.
So you've got the five lines with your clef or whatever. But when you go to the piano, there's two.
Okay.
And you've got your treble and your bass because you've got your right and your left hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really, and I looked at piano music for the first time, I'm like, okay, what is this? Because why do y'all have two?
Yeah.
I read one.
Yeah.
So, and I was already learning like all of the clefs. I was learning, treble and bass and all that. But I still couldn't read it and make my hands.
Wait a minute. So you're saying you have to read two at the same time?
Yeah, and I mean,
wow,
that's
interesting.
I'm not really a piano player, so someone who plays the piano and reads the music is probably like, it's not that difficult. Like that. But to me, I'm used to reading one line. And when I got to that, I was like, okay, I'm not learning this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it by ear.
Yeah.
So I used what I knew from theory.
Mm-hmm.
Chords, progressions, key signatures, time. I used all of what I knew, and I just put it to the piano. And I just kind of like started doing my own thing. And I still don't really think that I'm that great because there's just so much music that I could learn. And but I just like the feel of it.
Got you. So would you say, because I've heard this, that some of the best pianists are ones who learn by ear?
I've heard that.
Do you agree?
I don't know. I guess to a certain extent, I think because people who play by ear, they go based off feeling.
Okay.
But I think there's a technical aspect that is important, that you get from learning, the theory and how to actually the nuts and bolts of everything.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But I always took toward music because of the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't necessarily, I know I'm not a great pianist, but I like the way it feels. I know I'm not a great vocalist, but I like the way it feels. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the, material that I like to write and the way that I like to play with my voice, it's about feeling. It's not. I know I'm not a Mariah. I know I'm not a B or a Whitney, but I do know how to get a feeling from something. So I think that's what the piano gave me, while I was still in school.
But I'm going to listen, Dev. The thing with the feeling is I feel like most people will say, I felt that song, not that note was wrong. I didn't like how that note was played.
Yeah.
They're going to feel it, even if it was, because you have certain, what's my man? I can't think of my man's, but he has like dreads, and he's saying that, I like that cha-cha, but he has this song with us. Is her name Seven? Not Seven, Susan, I think. Maybe. SZA? Yeah, I think he has a song on there. He cannot sing for shit.
Well, yeah, and I know what you're talking. And see, that I agree. But when I was in college and I was studying the classical, when I was my professors and stuff that I was taking from, it was that that note is, you better slide that finger up. It's out of tune.
Oh,
you got to do this.
Yeah.
It's not on beat.
Yeah.
It was so
it's proper. And
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to play it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that when I was in college, I remember when I hit that wall, it was like, why all of a sudden do I hate this? I've been playing 15 years, and I get here,
and you've been in the game
then. And or how long was I playing? Yeah, I was playing maybe, now I've been playing about 20 or so years, but when I got to college, I'm about to tell you how old I am.
Here we go.
I've been playing maybe about 10, 11 years. But it was so, get in line. And I was just all of a sudden I hate this, and I grew up with this, and I loved it so much, and now I'm here, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
How could someone take something like music that I love so much and make me feel this way about it. And it was more like this rebellious thing.
Yeah.
When I would go and try to like escape and play the piano, or and I even at one point had dropped out of college.
Oh wow.
That's the story. But it was like, I'm not about to do this if it makes me feel like it feels like a barrier, and that's what it was starting to feel like baggage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
went away and I started just like breaking rules.
Yeah, you gotta break the rules. Like you have to break that mold and say, what happens if I cross this line that you told me not to?
Yeah.
And see where it takes you.
Curious, that's
right.
Curiosity.
So, okay, with the piano thing, who would you say are some of your favorite pianists?
Okay. I want to, like, what era?
Just top 3 in general, whether they're dead, alive, or, classical or modern, contemporary.
Well, definitely Alicia, but there's also Dorothy Donegan. She played in the 40s, I believe. I mean, her style and virtuosity is crazy. I discovered her not long ago.
Okay.
Now she broke rules. Let me tell you, like, if you ever watch her perform on stage, it's something else.
Yeah.
But there's a composer that I like, Rachmaninoff. Don't quote me on what era it was, but it definitely, classical. But I could tell that by the way that he wrote, of course I've never seen him live, that dude could play.
Yeah.
Because I was in the orchestra back at UNT, and I believe we did a
first chair,
piece.
second chair, eighth chair?
All of them.
Oh. So she floated around.
We played a piece by him, and we had this pianist come in and perform. It was like a solo with the symphony accompaniment, and it was out of this world. And I just could imagine, as a composer, what did he play like?
Yeah.
That would be a sight to see.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Top 3.
Okay. Now let's dive into Dev the Artist. Like, what got her behind the mic after she said, you know what, I'm playing now? And I have just a question for myself because I'm curious. Viola, violin, same thing or not?
Viola and violin, very similar, not the same.
Okay.
It's the strings. The strings are different. A violin has 4 strings. Ooh, watch me mess up. They're higher pitched, so they've got the E, A, D, and G. But a viola is more similar to the cello in the way that they string it.
Okay.
It's lower, but it's kind of in the middle. So
Gotcha.
they've got the same string setup as a cello.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very different. In the classical world, they're classified like very different. But usually when people ask me, I just kind of say I play the violin because a lot of people don't know what it is.
Yeah. I always thought it was tomato kind of thing, but I see it's not, when you're in that zone.
Yeah.
So I get it. But so let's talk about how you got behind the mic and, how you started creating that voice.
Okay, so I started writing. When I started playing the piano, I started writing lyrics.
Okay.
And that's what I fell in love with. And I think what I was doing was using the piano as a tool to be able to get whatever I wanted to say out. And I said, well, if I'm going to write this, then I got to be the one, because these are my stories.
Yeah, you got to be the one to say.
So I was like, well, let me just see these words. I just kind of just started. And it was horrible.
I'm so glad you could be honest with yourself.
No, I'll tell you right now, I'll tell the whole world, I don't think I'm a vocalist.
Yeah.
I never, vocals, I was always instrument. That was my thing. And so it was interesting. I took, time to kind of let myself be bad. So I started, the first single that I put out, this is back in I can't really tell.
Now, this is the very first right from the studio, or right from, your creation.
It's the very first one that I actually recorded. And because I had it's so funny. I have a staff book,
Mm-hmm.
and I have all these songs and lyrics in it, but I never went to the studio. This was the first song I went to the studio with. And
Okay.
it was,
Okay.
well, actually, you know what? First, I recorded in my closet in that apartment that I was living in. I remember that.
Yeah.
I got this mic off Craigslist. I swear to God, it cost $35. Don't even ask me what brand, because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I went in my closet and I was like, because I was trying to teach myself how to produce, like chords and all that. And it's called Late For You, and I put that out in 2017, I think, February 2017.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
Now, what made it bad? What elements made you say this is not it?
Maybe, like, when I go back and I listen to it, it's like, girl, what is you doing? But I don't know, I can appreciate it because what I liked about it was the lyrics.
Okay.
So I was at this point where I can hear it in my head, but I didn't know how to execute. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just dove into it.
Yeah, for sure.
So when it came time around when I started to record that project, then I had gotten more comfortable in the studio. I was working with this producer in DeSoto, and he kind of showed me a lot of, the technical side of producing and how do you lay a track and all this stuff. And, how do we edit vocals? How do, and so I really just started being curious,
for sure.
throwing myself in it. And so that's how I got that project that I put out in 2018.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe is even on Apple Music anymore. I think they just took it down.
Wait, so in 2018, that's the one with Tell Me on there, right?
Yes.
Listen, y'all, listen.
Oh
Check, tell me where can we find it if it's not on Apple?
I don't know. This is what happened. They took it down. They emailed me because what happened was I think I was with another distributor and they got bought out or something. They were telling me like, if you don't pay to have this kept up, we're going to take it out. And I was just like, you know what? I don't care because I just want to start over. Yeah. So I don't think it's probably on YouTube.
Hey, listen, y'all go find YouTube. Google this woman and Tell Me and listen to it.
I might actually like redo a lot of that stuff. So.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Hold on. Don't do that. Wait till she reads it.
2.0.
Tell Me 2.0.
Tell Me was on there.
Yeah. Love that song. Love that track.
And then, I was trying to like rap. I was like.
Which was dope. I mean, she was.
I was doing everything.
And then she got to the. And I was
I was
just this rock star, man.
I don't know.
It was hot. I thought it was great.
It goes back to the writing aspect of it. I think that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna just do this. I want to write this. I want it to go like that because I like hip hop. I like rap. I was just taking all of the influences that I had, growing up and kind of just making a pot of gumbo.
And here's the thing with that, because I'm glad you said you like hip hop, because when I listened to, now when you rapped, that sounded like hip hop. But the first part, I wouldn't say that was R&B. I wouldn't say that it was pop. Maybe more so on the pop side, I would give it, but you just have a unique sound to me that's just like, because it sounded more, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, operatic.
Like opera-like?
Yeah, and I was like, but it was.
And I've played in an opera before.
And that's what was so dope to me. I was like, this girl combined the opera with the hip hop, the R&B, the pop, and I'm like, wow, I hadn't heard that blend before. She right about that gumbo now.
It's like gumbo. Because I had experience playing in opera. I did, symphonies. I did classical. I did. Growing up, I liked hip hop and rap. I got a big brother who was in his teens and 20s in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, I was, and then my dad was Bob Marley and the Anita and Sade and the Gap Band. And I could go forever. It's just like, I had all this stuff in my head. And it's like, and I like all of it. So how do we do this?
Yeah.
So,
and that's dope. And I'm gonna tell you what's interesting is because you're not saying that. Yeah, I was singing and recording when I first started playing music. Oh my God. We're gonna work on that. Oh, but it's interesting to me because you're not saying that you were singing, writing, and all that stuff when you first started music. That came after. So, developing that part of it, is interesting, taking that on. So, is it because of the classical part of it that made you wait so long?
That's a good question. And, I never thought about it like that. But I think in retrospect, that could be a lot. That could happen. Because classical made me feel like I was maybe repressed in a way or suppressed. Just kind of like, I think I was just trying to find out, who is this girl? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Because classical is just so many rules.
Yeah.
And I was just tired of rules.
Mm-hmm.
My dad growing up, he's kind of strict. He kept a watchful eye.
Yeah, for sure.
Over my sister and I, but I was just like, I need something to liberate me, and I could only really find, traces of that in music.
Mm-hmm.
But I was wanting to break, like, what else? How many more walls can I break? And it's just, I think once I peeled that classical layer back,
mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, now we probably get somewhere. So,
yeah.
But I still experiment, like every day. What else can I do? How else can I do this? Or, how can I write this?
Yeah.
Record that. So.
I agree. And so I'm going to ask you this because to me, this always tells me what type of artist you really are. If you could open up for anybody, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Now that's hard.
Now, see, you might say something we do not know, like somebody, I open up for Barsh.
And I just know, I just get one?
Yeah, just one artist.
Nina Simone.
Nina Simone. Now, she's back from like the 40s and...
Not really.
The name sounds familiar.
Nina Simone.
Give me a title. What song she sang? What's it? Give me a popular title.
What's the one? Lauryn Hill just covered it, and I can't think.
Lauryn Hill just covered it?
Well, she covered it a few years ago. Well, there's one. How would it feel to be free? I think something like that.
See,
if I knew how it feel to be free. No, she's got.
I'm gonna have to. But Nina Simone sounds like. But her era is what? What is that era?
That would be. What's this? She's 60s, 70s.
60s. So that's R&B?
No, it's more. She's similar to. Damn, this is hard. Because she's not similar to anyone.
Yeah.
Nina was. Let me play something.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help us out.
If I play it, you'll know.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, for some reason, like some type of big band swing or something that she might have.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. That's the one that I wish I like. But there are popular ones. If I play, I know you know this one. Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Lil Wayne sampled this.
Okay. What song did you sample with this? Or you sample on?
Don't. Oh, man, that's how I love it. You'll know the sample
when they play. And that's her singing right now. Oh, she has like a deeper.
Lil Wayne sampled this.
See, I gotta get up on my Lil Wayne. That did not ring a bell.
This is it, yeah. It's called the same thing. Now, let me play this.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Hold on just a second. This is Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Misunderstood.
Understand me now. If sometimes you see that I'm mad,
But he does it when the beat drops.
Mhm.
don't you know no one alive can always be an angel? When everything goes wrong, you see some bad. Misunderstood, gotta be explained.
What album is this from? Is
This
this
is
the Carter? This is the Carter era.
Yeah, it is the Carter. Damn, I'm getting tested out here. I think that is the Carter.
It sounds like that could be from the Carter era.
This is on. I know it. Hold on. No, it's not the Carter 3. So it's.
See, them Louisiana fans probably tapping, but oh, that's all. Yeah, no, boom, boom, track 3 minutes and 2 seconds. You know.
Don't test me on Lil Wayne discography.
Yeah, right.
I will
right.
get lost.
Right.
Damn, I don't know what he did that on.
Well, we know he likes some Nina Simone just like you. So
Yeah, but if it wasn't Nina, it would be someone like Tracy Chapman
wait a minute,
or
hold
Alicia.
on. Tracy Chapman, that's
Give me one mistake.
Yeah. Okay.
Or it would be somebody like Alicia, maybe Snow Allegra.
Snow Allegra. Where is she? Where does she get going?
She's a current artist.
Oh, okay. So she's someone of the modern era.
She is.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, I got to go check some of these people out. I like to listen to music.
Yeah.
But once again, because I heard your sound, and that's why I'm like, if I get a feeling of who you would listen to or who you would open up for, that'll help us out because y'all just seen how she went from there to there, and it's just like it's coming.
But a lot of the reason I think is because I'm still figuring out what I'm supposed to sound like what is my sound? Because if whatever I make next, I don't think it'll sound anything like what I put out in 2018. Because I'm learning more about myself and who I am as a person, like what I want to say, what I want to represent. What kinds of sound, like what am I capable of today that I wasn't back then?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I guess I give myself the liberty of taking time to be able to, answer those questions. So
yeah, for sure. So if you're still figuring out yourself, does that mean that you don't have your audience figured out, like who your music is for?
Yes. But it's not like I know that my tribe is out there. But now that I know more about who I am as a person or as a woman, I feel like all I have to do is stay true to that, and they'll find me, I'll find them.
Okay, they'll gravitate towards that for sure.
I don't know, that was kind of vague.
Yeah, because, I'm thinking like you say, oh, mine is for women who are independent or they're trying to, figure themselves out. But, that's what I'm saying. If you're figuring out yours.
No, it's for people who like stories.
Okay.
I just want to tell stories, and I want to tell true stories. So anybody could like or need a story. I think stories are really all that we have. But when I write, I like to base it off experience and things that I go through or speak for myself, so that maybe someone else could resonate or relate. But at the same time, I don't know what that could be. Like whatever, I think as I get back into recording and writing, I think that the experience that I've had over the past 4 or 5 years, I think a lot of that will just come.
Yeah.
Then we'll probably get our answers. I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt. So now you haven't recorded for a nice stint. So in between that gap, what's been going on with Dev to say, okay, let me give this music a break before I get back to it?
A lot of struggle, a lot of Because when I first started trying to I said, okay, I want to go the music route, I was really broke.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out the hard way that it takes money and resources. So a lot of what I tried to do or have been trying to do is curate my life in a way that helps me support myself while still investing in music. So I just feel like I got to that point literally in January of this year.
Oh my God! Wow, really?
So
okay.
I was just waiting tables, delivering food. Like I was just really not. I was just kind of in this phase where I was just really lost with everything. This is like 2017 to maybe the end of 2019. And I was just in a phase where I was just figuring it out.
For sure.
And kind of in survival mode. And I think what made it so hard was it's very hard to create in survival mode. So I just kind of scratched everything, and I said, I'm going to figure out how to support myself and invest in my own dreams. So that's what it's been a lot of experience and a lot of failure.
Yeah.
Starting over. But I think a lot of it makes for good material because now I got stuff to write about.
You got stuff to write about. Because the thing about that is when you go through those struggles, it's like you said, failing but not staying there. One of my favorite quotes is, "You don't drown by falling in the water; you drown by staying there." And so obviously you knew, I got to get out of this thing. I got to swim. I'm not going to sink, and that takes so much courage, and so much strength. And now, not only did you come out, you're going to pay it forward through your music.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, it's also, I will say this, when I started trying to figure out how to do music, it felt like it came from a really selfish place.
Okay.
Because I was going through a lot of stuff and I just wanted to express it and kind of who's going to understand me? I cried through myself, And after, going through these things and coming out on what feels like the other side or whatever, it's more about, what can I do? How can I contribute through the work that I do as an artist? Because it doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of lack. When I sit down at the piano now, it feels like, there's no fear. It feels like love. It feels like I want to just contribute and give. Yeah. So I think that moving forward, I think that's the shift that's happening with a lot of the material that I'm writing now. It's like, this is not just for me.
Yeah.
It's not, especially going through a year like 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And all of us kind of coming out on the other side of something that just felt so brutal. And I think we all kind of fought our different little private battles, but collectively, we experienced something very profound. So I think 2020 was also a very definitive year for me too. And it kind of helped me, shift the perspective and the lens and look, you got to do stuff for your community. What are you doing with your craft and your time in ways that would, uplift the people around you? Or how can you contribute to fixing these problems that we have? So it's like my artistry now is more like a tool. How can I lift up the people coming, behind us, so that, let me tell you, that's a way better place to create from.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Than, out of lack and selfishness,
Create 100%.
So that's what I feel like. I feel like that right now. So
that's good. So Dev, since you're not on albums, that means we can't. And we talked about music.
I'm gonna put it back up. I'll put
because listen, the people need to hear this. They gotta hear you because I think you have. And just a quick backstory. I met Deb at WeWork, and she was chilling, doing something, probably being creative and curious.
I was an apprentice for Brass Tacks Collective. That's what I was up there for. A copywriter. That's what I was doing. That's what I do now, actually.
Okay. Okay. And so I saw her sitting over there. I was like, dang, what was this? Oh, it's just right there, and she had her hair was flowing and stuff, and we got to talking because I was like, okay, cool. She told me she does music, and she does this, that, and the third, and I was like, let me check you out. Man, listen, I go back to my office.
Did you? I gave you the link then.
Yeah, it was. You gave me a YouTube link, and I don't think it was on YouTube where I saw SoundCloud. That's where I saw you.
Okay, it is.
I saw you on SoundCloud.
If you want to find it, it's
y'all go to Dev's SoundCloud and listen to Tell Me. Like it's fire. Like it's straight fire. So and ever since then I was a fan. I was like, wow, she's great. I was like, we got to do some visuals. Get your stuff, popping in.
Yeah, because you told me you did videography and stuff, and
And so that was a few years ago, and it's gotten way more sweeter, and she's gotten way more sweeter on her end. So it's like we can do some real magic, create some real
we can
magic,
we can get into some things. Yeah.
And you said it on the mic, so hey,
oh man,
you committed to it.
I'm on tape.
Yeah. So all right, so how can we find you in social media? What are some of your social platforms?
Okay, well I only one place is enough for me.
Okay.
I do Instagram. I'm a ghost on Facebook and Twitter, so you probably won't find much activity there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of complicated. It's at Dev Papillon, so DevPapillon, which is my last name. But if you type at DEVP, it'll probably pop up.
Okay. So, and we can find you on SoundCloud, about the same?
SoundCloud, I think I just have it as Devin.
Okay.
I honestly haven't been on there in a very long time.
No doubt. Well, y'all check that out because I believe that is. And also, what is the business that you have going on now?
So, and this is what I was working on towards the end of 2020. I decided to leave corporate America.
Okay.
Well, I was an auto claims adjuster and I hated it.
Yeah.
And I jumped for like the 50th time. Just kind of left again. And I said, well, I want to make a living copywriting or doing, what I actually like for a living. So I do mostly independent contract work now. So mainly self-employed at this point in the copywriting advertising industry.
For sure.
So that's how I eat.
Yeah, that's how she eats.
So
getting that listen, she was literally one in that starving artist part, and that is
anybody listening to this, I get the pride because I had a lot of pride.
Ooh, now we talking.
Like I get it. You love your art. You want to, and to each his own. Whatever, but take it from me, like I won't say have a plan because I didn't really have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Just try your best to make sure that your basics are covered.
Yeah.
Because it is the hard, especially as an artist, it is the hardest thing to create when you are in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
There were some days and nights I did not think that I would make it. Like, I remember coming home from waiting tables and I could not feel my legs or my back, the next morning because I was just, and then didn't even make but $50, $100.
Yeah.
And I remember just being so scared, the fear. So if anybody is like, on the fence, like, how do I do this? How do I follow my dream? Get a hustle.
Yeah.
Make sure your basics are covered, and do a little bit each day. A little bit each day.
Yeah, listen, that's important because that's one thing that I feel people don't understand is that if you don't have any support, like if your music or your art is not creating money, you're not gonna eat, unless you are fortunate to have somebody backing you. But yeah, it's okay to say, all right, I gotta go work this 9 to 5 real quick. But when I get off, it's straight to my, my music.
And your craft and your art will reflect that.
It will. It will.
So, yeah. But now I say that, but in retrospect, I wouldn't change it because I feel durable now. I feel like I have the tools that I need. I feel humbled. I feel.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like I built up some tough skin, and You know, I know how to handle myself, take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I am, you know, but everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
So let me ask you this. Do you feel like every artist at some point needs to go through that, to have that, you know, the strength to go on when stuff gets rough? Because you know how they say, if you've never been through it and then you go through it,
yeah,
you don't bounce back from that because you've never been there.
Now that I'm here, literally sitting right here in this chair, for me, I needed that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say I am a very stubborn person.
Yeah.
I like to do things my way. I like to find my own way. But I got humbled. I did.
Yeah.
I went through it. But if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't know how to handle myself in the world like right now. And especially going into, I don't even want to say the industry because I don't know how far I'll go into the industry. But I do know that I know how to handle myself. I know how to make decisions. I know how to, I've got the experience, because I've messed up so much. It's like, how much more can you mess up?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But if I do, not saying I will mess up, I know how to catch myself. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I definitely think that people should, your trials are what gives you that armor. Yeah. That self-awareness,
That's so key.
To be able to maneuver and navigate in a world like this. I think if you know who you are, that's your shield. That's your, I say bulletproof. When you say bulletproof, it doesn't necessarily mean you won't get shot. Mm-hmm. But if you do, you got some armor.
Yeah, so, that's right.
But things like that, that's what they do.
So, and I'm gonna tell you, like, that's so important that you have that to tell people so they understand, like, this shit is real. Like, it can happen. Like, you can fail and still come out on top as long as you
should fail. I think you should fail.
Yeah.
I think you should fail fast. Very, very
fast.
I
agree. You need to do it early. Yeah.
Get that out the way.
Yes.
Get it out of the way, and then, if I knew what was waiting for me on the other side when I was going through all of that, I would have been a lot more patient and maybe a little less stubborn. But I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, that's good. So Deb, as we wrap up, tell us what is in your future in the next 5 years.
I want to be able to support myself, one, but I want to do the things that I love in ways that, inspire and contribute to my community or society. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of causes also that I appreciate and that would like to pay it forward to, like the Scoliosis Foundation. Mm-hmm. Is one because I went through that as a kid. The scoliosis, back brace, all of that stuff. That's one cause that I want to give back to. But mainly, I think in simple terms, I think I just want to be free.
Sure.
I just want to be free.
Yeah.
Free to do what I want to do in ways that contributes. And just make the most of the time that I have here.
Listen, the girl's a giver. She's a real deal giver,
But see, I wasn't always like that. I was selfish.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm telling you. Like, when you go through stuff like that, you realize, it's not all about you. Yeah. It's not.
That humbling part will kick in now.
It's like the question when I wake up every day, what can I do? The world don't owe me nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how I feel. Like, I'm here to give.
Yeah, service. Yeah, you're here to serve. Yeah. I get it. And I tell all my people, my guys that I hired, like, you really want to be on with me, you really want to understand who I am, understand that the service you give is a direct product of whatever it is you're trying to receive, whatever it's money, whether it's power, or fame, it doesn't matter. The service you give reflects that directly. Yeah. So, At
some point, we have to pay forward.
That's right.
We have to pay it forward.
That's right.
So
So yo, we have Dev in the building, and it's a lot more to come because I feel like we scratched the surface a little because it's a lot in that curious mind that we want to.
Man, that's one thing I will always
that we want to get to. So, Dev, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is dope.
Yeah. Y'all watch out.
They can't see what I see. But
they can't see it.
It's cool in here, guys. Like, you got this nice little setup.
Blessings. Well, Dev, thanks for coming on, and we out this thing.
Wait a minute. Like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, yeah. And retweet and double tap that post. The NLV Podcast.